Hello everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Rookie Division with the tournament win for the Grand Forest tournament here in Golf Clash the game. Video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and before we start don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content for free. Last but not least, get the best guides on the market by going to patreon.com/golfclashtommy, link directly in the description down below. Can we get this video up to 500 thumbs up? That would be amazing and I would be very thankful for that. Make sure you follow the info box on the right hand side for the club distance adjustment, the elevation adjustment, and also what ball and club type I suggest you to play with. You don't have to follow what I suggest you to use, but I always have a plan behind it. So if you do want to follow what I do, and hopefully with as good outcome and maybe better than what I get, then follow what I do suggest here in this video. In the end though, let's go to hole number 1. For hole number 1, I will be using a power 3 ball to go directly over the rough. And the reason I want to go directly over the rough is to, take away the risk of that we do have by bouncing over the rough instead. You could see there, those of you playing with superior, like higher level drivers like extra mile 7 plus, maybe even a stretch extra mile level 6, then you can go to the green area in 1 by going on the right side of the top bunker using a power 5 ball. But that is not what I'm gonna do here. I will be using 2.5 bar top spin, 2 bar side spin to the right, adjustment maximum distance plus 20. Perfect ball is what we do need, obviously. We don't want to hit great right, but you can see great right and also great left will be safe. And we will get our ball nicely up to 342 yards. From that yardage mark, we're going to measure our club distance, and you will notice that we are somewhat closer to minimum distance than we are medium distance. So in between minimum and medium distance is what I want us to adjust here with a 10% over adjustment. And here I'm making it as simple as possible. And that is that I will not play with any spin. I will leave the tip of the ball guideline short of pin, and the reason for that is that we do not have a 4.0 ball guideline, and therefore we cannot have the ball guideline to the hole and need to leave it short, otherwise we will come in too hot. Coming in too hot is probably, combined with coming in, just short, is probably the worst thing that can happen, because then it actually is that you had the direction right but just didn't have the position or the spin correct. So in the end, in between minimum and medium distance, 10% over adjustment, boom, for our first eagle on hole number 1. For hole number 2, I will play aggressive. I will go for a rough bump. It's because this will be such a superior shot compared to playing a bounce shot towards the pin, as we're always looking on getting a chance for an hole in 1. 3 backspin, 1 bar of right spin, ball guideline to the hole with the top of the yellow ring by the edge of the rough. Adjustment is going to be medium distance with a 10% over adjustment. And for those of you not using an application, you take the wind and then you deduct 0.2 rings. So 2 rings should be your adjustment with a 2.2 miles per hour. Once you have made your adjustment, you need to turn the screen around again, having the ball guideline pointing straight forward. Then you pull back half a ring. So you pull back half a ring, and the reason you do that is because you need to compensate from adjusting from a lower point to a higher point. Okay, so every time you go from a lower point to a higher point, you will gain distance, and that's why we need to pull back. Otherwise, there is a risk for you missing the rough. And sure, I could add a way of bouncing over towards the pin, which would be a birdie play all the time with a very little chance for an hole in 1. But I want us to focus, especially when we can play with a power 1 ball and a quarterback, where we can hit great left and great right and still be safe. We just need to be accurate with our adjustment. Then we have a super good chance making an hole in 1 and get a very good start on the tournament. For hole number 3, we will be playing on the right side, and this is the first time I'm actually showing the right side when it comes to a rookie division, but you will see the benefit from doing so in just a bit. Here I'm using, in this case, 2.5 bar backspin, 2 bars of side spin to the left, and we will be playing with a power 3 ball. Not so much for the drive, but especially for the second shot. We do need the power. So adjustment is, once again, maximum distance plus 10, and then we're going to apply curl on this drive. So we do have left side of the ball halfway through the adjustment ring to the left. I could honestly see ourselves going with a little bit more, having the left side just outside the adjustment ring to the left there, because we're coming in a little bit too close to the right side for my taste. In the end though, it works and we get to 290 yards, which is what we're looking for. Now, listen, if you do have a sniper level 9 or better, then you play with a sniper level 9. Otherwise, you do play with the horizon, because the horizon will still give you a good ball guideline, even though the accuracy is absolutely crap. And the thing that we're looking for now is to aim on the left side of the pin, and I'm using a little bit more than 5 bars of topspin. I would like us to go back there a little bit, and I want us to play, in this case, with 4 bars of topspin instead, because we will come in a little bit too hot in my opinion. So I'm aiming this ball guideline to be just left side of the pin. Adjustment, maximum distance, no elevation is the plan at least. So we do adjust, and then it's time to take our shot. Have in mind that when you do have a wind like we're having for the second shot, we do need to zoom in a lot, otherwise we will be struggling with the trees there. We bounce nicely on the fairway, we're getting it up the hill there, and we do miss just barely on the right hand side. However though, we do need to reduce the topspin a little bit. We come in a little bit too hot to my taste, but this is a very good chance making an albatross even with lower level clubs. For hole number 4, we are going to play on the left side, and we're going to use a Goliath. 3.2 backspin, 3 bars of side spin to the right, and we're looking to have the bottom of the red ring by the rough line with the blue ring bottom right by the tree. We are not going to look at the ball guideline because it doesn't really give us anything. We're just going to look at the ring's position, and that's where we're going to start. Adjust, maximum distance plus 10, and you can see we're nowhere close to be in maximum distance of our club. Now it's time to go with curl, and look at the curl that I'm using. I'm having the left side of the ball to be just inside the adjustment ring there to the right, and then we're gonna try to hit perfect. The plan here is to get the ball to bounce on the fairway up towards the top right of the green and then fall down towards the pin. Here we could go with a little bit more curl, and also we do need to reduce the backspin a little bit. So 3 bars of backspin and 3 bars of side spin to the right. Go with a little bit more curl, then we will see that being very close. If you don't have a Goliath that is in at least level 4, which is the club club level that do have the curl we need, then I would recommend you to go with the Grim Reaper, even though that's a club we very rarely use. But it does have the curl, it does have the backspin, and that is what we're looking for when it comes to hole number 4. So for hole number 5, we're gonna play in between the two big trees here. And sure, that may be risky, but that is a risk that we do need to take because the reward is going to be massive. If we are playing around the trees, we're going to have to play with curl and going to have a bit riskier time if doing so. Maximum distance, no elevation. I'm using as much topspin and side spin to the right possible. Adjust, then you push up to max, and then we will have to go with overpower when it comes to playing with a power 2 ball. Adjustment, when it's come to curl, I do have the right side of the ball to be halfway through the adjustment ring there, and we're using 2 rings of overpower. Great right is way better than great left. Great left will most likely bounce, having the second bounce into the rough. Again, I'm speculating, it might not be, but that's what I do believe. And a perfect would obviously be a perfect. Now we are very close to green, should be a wedge that we should be managing, having a good time with. but it's still not going to be a gimme. The thing that I would like us to think about here, sure, I used overpower. With a power 3 ball using the same amount of overpower, we're most likely gonna get that ball to the fringe. At least we would be closer to the green than we are with a power 2 ball. If you do play with a big topper, you could use all the topspin and roll the ball to green as well. However though, it all depends on what level of big topper you're having if you're reaching over the rough without having to go with a lot of overpower. Because if we're gonna have to go with a lot of overpower with the big topper, then maybe that's not the best option, because if you hit a great left or a great right, you might even clip one of the big trees because the accuracy is so bad. So maybe look into what you do have in terms of what ball to choose, and then maybe you can maximize getting a little bit more power. The more power you have on your ball, on your drive, the easier the shot is going to be, and the closer to the green you will get, and therefore an easier time to get an eagle. Now we are just going to look at this wedge and see that this is a pretty downhill wedge, and I would judge this one that it needs to be some addition in terms of elevation. Playing with the skewer level 5 is not really ultimate, as the ball guideline definitely fools me big time in the, you know, how much it will roll. So I do think we can all cry a little bit looking at me going short in line, which is honestly the absolute worst, one of the worst things you can do in my opinion. For hole number 6, we're gonna play one of the tougher holes in this tournament, in my opinion, to get something to drop. So I'm going to use a power 3 ball here and use 4.5 bar topspin and 2 bars of side spin to the right. I'm looking to do a rough bump out to the fairway, and I'm going to explain why I want this ball to not go as far on the fairway, and that's why I'm saying maximum 4.5 bar topspin. Adjustment is going to be maximum distance plus 10 is what we're going to do, and we're not going to play maximum distance plus 20, which I normally do, but that is because now we're doing a rough bump, and then I will reduce the elevation to get a different type of outcome. Adjustment max plus 10 as already explained, and then 3/4 of the ball outside the adjustment ring to the right, and with our extra mile it will be full curl, and you can see here that we're getting the ball nicely out on the fairway. And you can see this tree on the top left of the game screen. That is the tree that we do not want to have in our face, because that will mean that we would not be able to go for the pin directly. And so now we can actually play on the right side of the tree, use side spin, and then we don't have the tree in our face in any shape or form. That's the same with that little tree that you have in the bottom of the game screen, bottom left there. 1 bar backspin, 2 bar side spin to the left. It's very difficult to aim here with limited ball guideline. Those of you playing with Sniper 7 or better gonna have a much easier time to adjust for the pin here, as I cannot really tell if I'm adjusting for the pin or not. Now I do have a very heavy pull angle 1201, which is why I do miss a lot to the right here. Need to make sure that the wind angle is pointing straight north when we pull our rings. If we don't, then we're gonna have a different outcome than what we want. One little thing as well with the second shot, 2 bars of backspin would be good. Coming a little bit too hot, I don't think that would have dropped, even though it would have been at the pin. Maximum distance plus 20. A last advice here when it comes to choosing what type of wood club you're going to have for the second shot. If you do have the sniper level 6 or better, you can use the sniper. If you do have a lower level sniper, you would either have to play with a berserker ball, which is a power 5, or to go with a different type of wood club. I would try to keep the sniper all the time, but obviously if you can spend a power 5 ball, that will give you a much easier time, and you do not have to be afraid of being in between clubs, no matter how bad your drive may be. On the last of the par 3s, we are once again going to play with a Katana Power 2 side spin 3. We do need all the side spin we can get here, because honestly, we do get a very bad wind here. Sure, we could attempt going for a rough bump. Problem is though that we do need to play with a Power 0 ball in some sort, and that would give us to go into the paid ball section, and that is not something that I would like to do, because otherwise we will go in between clubs. Red ring by the rough line, 1.2 backspin and 3 bar side spin to the left. The second bounce approximately 1 ring before the fringe. Adjustment is going to be maximum distance plus 10. And then we are not going to go with any curl, as we're going to rely on the fact that the side spin is going to do the trick here to bounce to the right. We bounce very nicely and we get a nice roll. Unfortunately, we just missed to the right, so we do need to move our target a little bit more left to get a better outcome. But this is par 3 that honestly gives a very nice chance from second and third tee, but from the front tee it's always difficult when we don't have a good ball guideline on our long iron. Those of you being able to play with the Grizzly that is in at least level 7 have a massive advantage here, as you do have a 4.4 ball guideline to play with, but in the end it's a decent chance. It should be at least a very safe birdie. For hole number 8, we want to play with the big topper, and here you don't have to have a big topper level 7 to play it. You should have a big topper level 1 minimum, which means that you only need to have it unlocked. First, I'm looking into, could I play with a horizon here? But no, we're gonna play with the big topper, using all the topspin that we can with 1 bar of side spin to the left. Important as well to play with a power 0 ball like the Marlin, as we will otherwise be going in between clubs when we do have the tailwind as we're having now. Now I'm adding all the topspin that I can, aiming just by the bunker, adjustment, minimum distance, no elevation. And the plan here is to have the ball bounce into the rough and roll out on the fairway. We will in some cases be getting a little glitch roll here from the rough. As you can see here, it bounced in the rough nicely and then it just takes this massive roll. Sure, you are nowhere close to the bunker here, which is a safety net thingy to have in mind. We just want to get it down to the fairway to have a wedge towards the pin. In a best case scenario, we do get more 2 dead bounces, roll out on the fairway and still have a wedge towards the pin. Now we do need to have the best wedge possible. Choose the wedge that gives you the best accuracy, but especially the best ball guideline, because it's always easier to have a wedge with a good ball guideline when trying to aim for the pin here. I'm aiming left side of the cup. When we do have such a little wind as we're having now, we just need to move it either left side pin, right side pin, and keep it inside the cup, as the wind will not affect the ball basically anything. This is, no matter how we twist it, a must eagle if we're gonna have anything to do with having a good score in the tournament. Hole number 9 is going to be, together with hole number 6, a very tough hole to get something to drop on. First, we start with the quarterback, 2 bars of side spin to the right, and in the end I'm using 1 bar of topspin here as well, having the white ring to be just inside the rough there on the right, not the left. And using a Titan ball, that's the minimum I want you to play with. If you don't have the possibility to play with a power 3 ball, you can play with a power 1 or a power 2 ball, but you will have to be prepared for going with a decent amount of overpower for the second shot, because the drive doesn't really need power, but the second shot does. Maximum distance plus a 20 is what we're looking for, and we want the ball to roll down the fairway, being here at the top right corner. And I think that's an absolute beautiful position after the drive. Second shot, I play with the wood club with the most power, as here I'm not really looking for the albatross. And a big reason why I'm not looking for the albatross is because I have no ball guideline to play with. So it's just a guess on if are we aiming directly at the pin or are we aiming right side of the pin. The thing that I'm looking at though, to not come in too hot or not come in too short, is that I want to add spin. Then second bounce will be approximately 1/3 into the rough. As you can see there, when I turn the screen around, 1/3, it should be into the rough. Adjustment is going to be maximum distance, but I can see that there is a little typo here. So we're going to change, and we're going to look at this one, as we're gonna see, you're gonna have that one there, and we're gonna remove the 20. So we're not gonna play the maximum distance plus 20, we're gonna play maximum distance with no elevation, my friends. So maximum distance, no elevation for the second shot. If you have the possibility to play with a berserker ball, I can give it a stretch towards the fact that you can use a sniper level 9, level 10 with a berserker ball and have a decent chance for an albatross. But if we're gonna generalize it, you know, lower level clubs, this is a tough one to drop. Pick the best club in terms of power for the second shot, but also the ball that has the most power as well, to simplify it and just lock in the eagle. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Pro Division with the tournament win for the Grand Forest tournament here in Golf Clash the game. Make sure you email us at support@golfclashtommy.com if you do have any more questions to us. Also, make sure you get the guides, the ultimate tournament guides, the best guides on the market. Especially be prepared for the wind changes that seems to be coming, not this tournament but the tournament after that. Don't forget to hit thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and good luck in your Golf Clash game.